Name's Ian McIntyre, semi-retired shopkeeper.
Right.
Well, it was sort of free and easy. It was a safe place to be. I mean, certainly when most of my time growing up was during the war. I'd assume I came to school in 1938 and I would be here until 1940. That's about 1948. So, well, I mean, usually in primary school your English spelling, whatnot, how to write a letter or how to write an essay, which I quite enjoyed doing. I suppose I still do it to some extent. And then you had your maths, which is fairly basic: addition, multiplication, division. And then once we come into the secondary, you had geometry. Proposition 1, the exterior angle of any triangle is equal to the sum of the two interior opposite angles. Oh, that was belted into us. And if you like, I could draw anything.
What was your first memorable moment in Tarbert?
Well, I'd say it was my young brother leaning out of the pram saying to me, "Pipam foi a car," which means, "Keep in, Florrie, here's a car." Well, they were separated in certain things like cookery and woodwork. I think maybe there's a bigger expectation today. You were just quite happy if you were taught to read and write. In those days you could get a job like that. But nowadays you're expected to have a university education, and I think maybe the expectations are bigger nowadays than they were in my day. Not that people were you were just as clever. It was just that you weren't, well, weren't expected to do any better than you could manage without too much trouble. Didn't think it made an awful lot of difference. The ones that usually got it were quite used to it and didn't bother. No, I don't think the belt was a successful method of teaching children, but on the other hand, there were ones that really did deserve it.
I wouldn't have said it was used often.
No.
No. Usually for misbehaviour, but occasionally it was used for coming up with the wrong answers and whatnot, or not doing your homework properly, or getting it wrong. But no, that was rare. I mean, it's not a good method of education. I happened to look back to the head of the harbour and the castle, the church, and I saw an aeroplane going across the skyline, and it had smoke and flames pouring out of it. Now, as far as I know, I'm the only person in Tarbert that saw that. And I went home and said to my parents, "I saw a plane, it was on fire," and what? "Oh, don't be hearing." 6 o'clock news, reports of an aeroplane having crashed in West Loch Tarbert. And the record is there, a plane did crash in West Loch Tarbert. And all the occupants were killed.
There was a canteen in Tarbert on the way out at the Brewsbury, you know where I am. And there was a canteen there run by a committee in Tarbert, and they gave the soldiers or whatever that were passing through a meal. You'd go there and get a meal for free, of course. So that was a good thing, and it was very successful. A lot of people thought it was a great idea. There was the boatyard. There was always a boat on the go, and then when it was going to be launched, we all used to get away early from school to watch the launch.
The fishing, the main fishing, It was still going on right through, well, certainly the 1930s. Well, on one occasion, or more than one occasion, there were so many herring landed that they couldn't get enough lorries to take away the day's catch. And the lorries had to come back to Tarbert and get a second load and take them away again. Tarbert fishermen, I'm not saying invented, but perfected what's known as the ring net. Ring net, most efficient method of catching herring. The best method of catching herring. Because with the drift net, when the herring swam into the net, they got enmeshed in it. And that was it. By the time you took them out of the water, the fish were actually dead. But with the ring net, and you brought them into the side of the boat, ready to take them aboard, if you didn't like the look of them, if they were just wee herring and not fit for market, you tipped them out, they swam away. I've seen it done. So it was a great method of fishing. But further up Loch Fyne, they didn't like it. Oh, you'd catch all the herring, there'd be nothing left, you'd destroy the herring fishing. Now that was in the wasn't in the 19 at all. It was 18 something, I can't remember, 1840, 1850, very early on, when this battle was going on between the Loch Fyne fishermen and the Tarbert fishermen. And the ring net was declared illegal. The Tarbert fishermen said, not happy with that, or other words. And they continued to use it. And they sent a naval cutter to the area, and they tried to take the ring nets away and destroy them. But again, the Tarbert fishermen, they put their nets way down on the shore side, down past the concrete between here and Skipness, just landed them somewhere on the shore. And they would go out at night in the boats without any nets, pick them up from where they'd left them down the shore, do the night's fishing, put the nets back ashore, come into Tarbert with a catch to land it. And that went on for quite some time. And there is actually an article which I've got a copy of, or several bits, from the Glasgow Herald. And it's headed Riot at Tarbert Loch Fyne. And this was the battle between the Loch Fyne fishermen and the Tarbert fishermen. And they were accusing the Tarbert fishermen of having thrown some of the Loch Fyne fishermen into the harbour when they came down to protest about the use of the ring net. But Tarbert's different to the other communities, different to Dunoon, different to Oban, different to, Loch Ilpin.